The movie opens with a forest being cleared to make way for new railway lines. A local shaman arrives and warns the officials to stop their work. He claims that continuing the construction will bring suffering worse than death. However, the authorities ignore him and force him to leave. Before going, he curses them, saying that even God won't be able to save them. That night, two workers, Dato and his friend Paimon, were working overtime when suddenly Dato began to sense something strange around him. Moments later, Paimon goes missing. When Dato searches for him, he witnesses a terrifying entity killing Paimon. The scene then cuts to a railway station celebrating the grand opening of the Sankara Resort. We meet two sisters, Purnima and Kambang, who are on their way to visit the resort. Nearby, several women cry out in grief, begging for their husbands to return, the same workers who went to build the tunnels and never came back. Sadiq, the train conductor, welcomes the passengers aboard the Sankara train, a special tourism service running to the resort. He announces that the journey will last 7 hours and they'll reach by 7 p.m. As the train departs, we see Ramla, Dato's wife, among the passengers. She's shocked to spot her husband, who should be dead, inside the train. She rushes toward him, but by the time she reaches, he's gone. She spots him again in the cafe coach, yet when she gets there, he disappears once more. Confused, she asks the staff about a man wearing a worker's uniform, but they insist no such passenger exists. Soon after, Ramla sees Santoso, the owner of the resort. As she approaches, a staff member stops her, saying that economy class passengers aren't allowed in that area. Santoso talks with Bara about a disturbance at the station earlier. Bara explains that some locals were protesting because several station employees were fired. Santoso replies that he doesn't want to dwell on it, but worries it might damage their image with investors. Meanwhile, Kambang notices a crow flying alongside the train. Suddenly, it crashes into the window, startling her. She tells Purnima, who begins to feel dizzy and uneasy. Purnima excuses herself to go to the washroom, but finding it occupied, she goes to another coach. As she vomits inside, the ghost of Paimon appears in the mirror behind her. The train enters the first dark tunnel. When Purnima doesn't return, Kambang goes to look for her. The lights begin to flicker. A young girl in the coach suddenly sees another girl who transforms into a demonic figure. The train exits the tunnel, and Kambang finally finds her sister, Purnima. As they look around, both sisters are shocked to discover that the entire coach they were in moments ago has vanished. They meet Tekun, a crew member, and inform him that the fifth coach is missing. Tekun is stunned and has no idea how that could happen. He immediately shuts the train doors for safety. Moments later, a passenger trying to use the washroom realizes the coach is gone and alerts everyone. Panic breaks out among the passengers. Tekun tries to calm them down, assuring them that it's only a minor technical glitch. He tells them the missing coach was temporarily left behind in the tunnel and will reconnect later near the resort. While Kambang waits outside, she receives a phone call from Dr. Nugraha. The doctor says Purnima hasn't been answering his calls for a week and urgently needs to visit him. Her liver cancer surgery had failed. When Purnima returns, Kambang confronts her. She tells her about the doctor's call and asks why she hid such serious news. Purnima explains tearfully that she only wanted to spend time with her sister. She feared that if she told the truth, Kambang would refuse the trip and they'd lose this last chance to be together. Kambang insists they could have spent time in the hospital. She says she's tired of medicines and pain and wants to see beauty, not sickness. Meanwhile, Tekun, checking the control room, notices a strange, sticky substance on the electrical panel. When he turns around, he suddenly sees ghostly figures of the railway workers, drenched in blood. They vanish instantly. Sadiq, the conductor, enters the room. Tekun, frightened, tells him what he saw, but Sadiq dismisses it, saying the driver's radio has short-circuited, which is why they can't contact the control center. Sadiq asks what's wrong with the electric system, and Tekun explains he was trying to reach emergency services, but the system is failing. Then he mentions the missing fifth coach. Sadiq sternly tells Tekun to keep quiet about it. He warns that Santoso, the resort owner, must not find out until they figure out what's really going on. Sadiq instructs Tekun to handle the economy class passengers from the fourth coach carefully and follow standard procedures. Tekun approaches Purnima and Kambang, reassuring them that everything is under control. He explains that the issue is only a minor technical fault, already managed by the station staff. He adds that their luggage will be sent directly to the resort. When Purnima anxiously asks about the passengers from the missing fifth coach, Tekun calmly replies that they'll reach the resort soon. As the train enters the second tunnel, Tekun informs the sisters that they'll be shifted to the fourth economy class coach, and as compensation, they'll receive bonus travel points for their next trip. In the fourth coach, a group of friends are laughing and enjoying themselves, when suddenly one man begins to choke violently. Panic spreads as two more passengers start to choke. The others rush to help, offering water, but one of the choking men gasps, "We're all going to die," before collapsing lifelessly on the floor. A terrified woman cries out that they can't escape the punishment that awaits them. A chilling laughter fills the air again. Adam, one of the passengers, lifts his camera and through its lens sees a dark, supernatural entity lurking inside the coach. Screams echo as the horrifying creature rushes forward and kills Adam in front of them all. From another coach, Kambang witnesses the entire scene in horror. Hearing Kambang's screams, Purnima and Tekun rush to her. They're stunned to find the coach completely gone. Kambang, trembling, tells Purnima that it looked like some non-human beings had trapped the passengers, and she insists they must leave the train right away. The commotion brings Bara and Santoso, the resort owner, out of their cabin. Santoso looks around, realizing that another coach is missing, and asks Bara if he knows what's going on. Bara remains silent. Then Santoso questions Tekun, who admits he doesn't know what's happening either. At that moment, Ramla speaks up. She says that one missing coach could be a coincidence, but two missing coaches in a row is definitely a warning. She believes it's not a technical fault, it's something far beyond their control. Bara waves off her fears, saying that if people keep believing in superstitions, their small region will never develop. But Kamban interrupts, crying that she saw it herself. All the passengers were pulled together in the center of the coach, surrounded by terrifying creatures. Bara dismisses her too, telling Santoso that the missing coaches were probably just left behind in the tunnels. Santoso asks Tekun if he has contacted the control center, and Tekun replies that the conductor is still in contact. Bara suggests they go to the main cabin to check. Santoso agrees and sends him ahead. When Bara leaves, Santoso quietly pulls Tekun aside and warns him before the press gets a hold of this and turns it into a horrific story, they must locate the missing fourth coach. Tekun says the radio and antenna are not working. Bara sees a dead mouse on a chair, cleans it quickly, and tells Sadiq about the missing coaches. Sadiq says he already knows. Bara tells him to contact the control center, but the devices are damaged. Bara insists they must reach the resort soon, send a team to find the missing passengers, and give VIP service so no one complains or sues. Sadiq shows Bara CCTV footage from the fifth coach, showing real demons. Bara is shocked and orders Sadiq to delete it. He says his police contacts will handle it. He warns Sadiq not to scare the passengers. Sadiq then goes to Santoso, asking him to return to the VIP cabin. Santoso apologizes to passengers and offers VIP service, but Sadiq says it's full. Santoso replies that Tekun will serve them well. Before leaving, Ramla stops Santoso and says her husband, who worked on the Sankara Railway, never came back. Santoso says Bara handled it, and he doesn't know anything. Later, Purnima accuses Tekun of lying about the missing coaches and demands the truth. Tekun says he doesn't know and isn't sure if help will come, Purnima says he should have explained earlier. He says he was only following orders. Suddenly, Purnima feels sick and runs to the washroom. As Purnima vomits, the train enters the third tunnel. Santoso tells the crew to serve the passengers. Susie asks to join because she's scared, but he refuses. Soon after, they hear Susie scream from the pantry. Santoso and others go there and see the coach destroyed. They hear a demonic growl and see a dark creature sitting there. Santoso whispers for everyone to stay quiet and move to the second coach. As they move, their bodies freeze, surrounded by demons. One woman faints, and the demon turns its attention to her. The demons move toward Maya. She picks up a knife and warns them to stay away, but the demons control her hand and make her cut her own throat. Everyone screams in fear. The demon reappears, killing a man by crushing his head. They calls Tekken for help, begging him to open the door. He tries but fails. The coach detaches and stays inside the tunnel. They run to the second coach. A man asks how the third coach disappeared. Purnima says there's no time. Tekken tells Sadiq to stop the train before the fourth tunnel, or the second coach will vanish too. Bara arrives, accusing the economy passengers of planning to destroy lower coaches and rob the VIP ones. Purnima says they have no weapons to rob anyone. Bara says if they can disconnect coaches, they can do anything. A man named Chris says he won't let them steal. Ramla points toward the fourth tunnel and tells everyone to move fast. Chris suddenly attacks Ramla. Bara returns to the VIP cabin and tells passengers to calm down. He says the trouble won't reach here. Meanwhile, Purnima, Bara, and Kambang fight with Chris. During the fight, Purnima hits him with a bottle and accidentally kills him. The passengers call her a murderer and catch her, but she warns them to let her go. The four escape and try to enter the VIP cabin by breaking the glass, but others arrive. Tekken says they must go to the first coach because the demons appear in tunnels. The train enters another tunnel. The passengers attack Tekken instead of listening. A loud scream stops them all. They see the demon inside the second coach. Tekken runs to the first coach. The demon kills passengers one by one. Sadiq lets Tekken and others in, then the second coach detaches again. Bara takes the keys and says he'll stop the train, but inside the driver's room he orders to go faster. The train is speeding, and they rush to the driver's cabin. Sadiq tells the driver to open the door, and Sadiq orders him to slow down. During the struggle, Bara kicks Tekun out of the train, killing him. The train stops in a forest near the tunnel. Bara is tied up inside. Purnima tells investors the resort isn't far. They can walk through the forest. Ramla asks about her husband. Bara doesn't know. She explains that her husband worked honestly, and the women at the station were looking for their husbands and brothers. In a flashback, Bara's greed caused him to route the railway through the forest, despite warnings from a local shaman, Ramat, who said dangerous entities lived there. Sadiq reveals Bara assigned him to the train to hide his secret. Suddenly, a demon comes out of the tunnel, dragging people into the bushes. Everyone panics. The demons are coming because of the darkness, not the tunnel. Inside the train, a possessed investor asks Bara why he destroyed her forest. The demon kills Bara after revealing its true form. Sadiq is also killed by demons. Purnima is possessed, and the demons turn all passengers into trees. Kambang slowly transforms, but Purnima manages to free herself, though she sees Kambang's transformation helplessly. Purnima faces the demons again and begs them to take her instead of her sister. The demons just smile and disappear. Purnima is left alone. Soon after, all the tunnels collapse and seal themselves. 6 months later, Purnima is with Ramat. She asks why Bara wasn't killed earlier. Ramat explains killing Bara wouldn't have stopped the demons, because others like him could still appear. Purnima asks why she survived. Ramat explains that demons see humans like soil, and she is like infertile soil to them. The movie ends. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe for more scary recaps.